Dear friends, may the Lord give you peace. The pastoral theme of the Archdiocese of Goa and Daman is Stay with us. It is interesting to know that gradually we are marching these days towards the celebration of the mystery of Incarnation, Emmanuel, which means God with us. Emmanuel, God with us, is the same Jesus who the apostles on the way to Emmaus had invited to stay with them. The distressed apostles recognized Jesus in the breaking of the bread. When they recognized Jesus, all their precious memories came alive. The moments spent with Jesus while he was on earth, the walking along the sea shore of Galilee, his teaching, his preaching, etc. Friends, memories are precious, and as long as we have memories, yesterday remains. And one such memory that we all have been connected with our lives are those precious moments spent in decorating our houses for Christmas and in preparing our cribs. Have you ever wondered who initiated or made the Christmas crib? The first Christmas crib was conceptualized by Saint Francis of Assisi in 1223 in a small town of Greccio in Italy. It is believed that Francis was inspired by this idea after visiting the historical place of Christ's birth in a cave in Bethlehem during his pilgrimage to the Holy Land. Francis now wanted to celebrate Christmas in a new way by replicating lively the manger scene of Bethlehem. About 2 weeks ahead of Christmas, Francis called upon his friend, a local landowner, Giovanni Vellita. Francis asked Giovanni to make the preparations to display the nativity scene, to recall the memory of that little child who was born in Bethlehem in a manger with an ox and an ass standing by. And Giovanni prepared everything as Francis had requested, with live animals and humans, except for the child Jesus, who was replaced with a wooden statue. The little town of Greccio had become the new Bethlehem. And on the day of Christmas at midnight, many brothers and good people flocked to Greccio, carrying lighted candles and singing Christmas songs. The full atmosphere was in a celebration mood, and one of his brothers, who was a priest, celebrated the Holy Eucharist in a great solemnity with unction and devotion. Francis, who stood by the manger, dressed in his robes of a deacon, was filled with the utmost joy and was shedding tears of devotion and compassion. On this joyous occasion, Francis sang the gospel and preached to the people on the nativity of Christ. Francis would look at the manger and with all tenderness would acclaim the little babe of Bethlehem. The whole experience was so touching that some people even believed that they had seen the baby Jesus come alive in the manger. Some of the townspeople also requested Francis for the straw or the hay which was strewn over the floor for the animals. And when they took the hay home, their animals were also healed. Thus, my dear friends, began the rich tradition of preparing the Christmas crib in our Franciscan religious houses and then spread out gradually to all around. Even till this date, Beautiful memories of baby Jesus in the manger are cherished by all of us. Emeritus Pope Benedict XVI, during the season of Advent in 2005, in his Angelus message, spoke about the faith value of preparing the Christmas crib. He was of the opinion that to set up crib at home can be simple but effective way of presenting the faith and transmitting it to one's children. The manger also helps us to contemplate on the mystery of God's love, who revealed himself in the poverty and simplicity of the Bethlehem cave. St. Francis of Assisi calls Christmas as the feast of feasts, where the arms of baby Jesus still stretch out for our love. And amidst this celebration, the crib can help us to understand the secret of true Christmas, because it speaks of the humility and the merciful goodness of Christ, who though he was rich, yet for our sake he became poor. My dear friends, even Pope Francis visited Greccio in Italy on January 4th, 2016, where St. Francis of Assisi first prepared the crib in a cave and signed his apostolic letter entitled Ad Mirabile Signum. This document explains the meaning and the importance of the Christmas crib. Pope Francis highlighted the aspect of rocks where St. Francis of Assisi found inspiration for the first crib is even today an invitation for all of us to rediscover the aspect of simplicity. The crib also reminds us to find moments of silence and prayer in the midst of our hectic lives, especially in these trying and turbulent time of pandemic. Silence to contemplate the beauty of the face of the child Jesus, and prayer to express our gratitude for protecting us and giving us the grace to fight a battle against this novel coronavirus pandemic. And he has given us the grace to emerge victorious as COVID warriors. Last but not the least, my dear friends, St. Francis of Assisi could see his life story being intermingled in the web of God's creation. He allowed himself to be absorbed in the story of God's creation. Thereby, he magnified the beauty inherent in God's handiwork. Our life story is also deeply intermingled in the story of Jesus since the day of our baptism. This memory of Jesus is kept alive only by sharing it with others. And one of the best means available to each one of us for this rich tradition is of displaying our Christmas cribs. Otherwise, the story of Jesus will vanish away. And if we place Jesus only in the tabernacle of our churches and do not share his story, it will be swept away with the passing current of time from our memory. When the story of Jesus is shared, we will be able to preserve it in the tabernacles of our hearts, and the story of Jesus will become active and vibrant. This awesome story radiates brightly through our life, especially as we pass on the sweet memory of the birth of Jesus by preparing the Christmas crib. May the little babe of Bethlehem, who is our Emmanuel, God with us. Stay with us.